A very good day and welcome to a run of our sports for the day. My name is Pichichi Man, world record goal banger. I'm the African Fabrizio. Today, like every other day, we'll be giving a host of other stories. Congratulations to Arsenal. Mikel Arteta having the choice striker on board. Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal. Agreement in place already. Zubimendi to Arsenal. Here we go. Manchester United fans going rogue. Why? You got to know the details of that story in the course of this run with us here now. And of course, the dangerous, terrible injury to Bayern Musiala that was going on between Manuel Neuer, Donnarumma, and Thibaut Courtois. All of these stories and host of other stories there. What does the CWC portend for Enzo Maresca of Chelsea? These are some of the major stories you'll be taking on our sports run for the day. So stay with us. This is where we give you the best of stories from the La Liga, the Bundesliga, Eredivisie, and even the Nigerian Professional Football League. As it happens, we'll be keeping you abreast with these stories coming your way. So don't go nowhere. Just connect to edysports, where we'll be giving you the best of sports stories, news stories as it happens. Let's get down straight to the stories making rounds there. Arsenal having an agreement with Sporting Lisbon for Victor Gyökeres. Finally, they've gotten their man there. Remember, we brought you stories that Mikel Arteta has given Sporting Lisbon and Arsenal a couple of days. If they do not finalize that deal, then they'll be looking at other options. And that deal have been put on the table already. And terms have been agreed there. Victor Gyökeres will play for Arsenal, play for Mikel Arteta. Kickstart of this season. Remain, but Sporting Lisbon have already breached a gentleman agreement with Victor Gyökeres. There was £100 million, but that is story reaching us according to David Oyston. It says that that deal have been structured properly so that Arsenal can take care of it. Of course, the terms and structure of that deal is still on board. They're working on that. But as it stands right now, breaking story reaching us that Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal, Sporting Lisbon have come to terms and agreement regarding Victor Gyökeres moving down to Arsenal. It has been his priority. Of course, Manchester United, Liverpool have been courting him, but Arsenal has been his priority, and it has been very open and very vocal about that. And now it is. Here we go. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. Mikel Arteta getting what he wants right there. Remember, he's been pushing hard to have a top striker, a quality striker. Now the question remains if Victor Gyökeres will fit into the bill, the pressure of the Premiership. Of course, it's a very classic striker, a very dominant striker in the air, pacey, very intelligent striker there. We'll see how things pan out there for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Zubimendi, here we go for Arsenal. Arsenal have been pushing out of Zubimendi. Remember, stories making around the end of last season that Zubimendi probably have been thinking about remaining in Spain, but as it stands right now, Zubimendi is back in the Premiership there. He's coming back to Premiership there, and he's going to do what he knows how to do best. Mikel Arteta loves his player. He loves his fluid play. He knows how to play in very, very small spaces. And according to Mikel Arteta, these are the kind of quality players we like. If we have this kind of pacey, intelligent midfielders, it will help our strikers to get what we want. And that is exactly what they're looking for. Goals, goals, goals there. And maybe making progress in the Champions League and also in the Premiership there. Big ups, congratulations to Arsenal fan. Congratulations to Mikel Arteta. Congratulations to Arsenal for a job well done there. Let's move away from that story to other stories there. Manchester United fans are going rogue. Okay, they're going rogue. Remember, they lost their man. The initial plan was to have Victor Gyökeres reunite with Ruben Amorim. They were already having these love affairs right there in Sporting Lisbon, but now it is over. It is over. Manchester United fans are not happy about the situation on board there now, and the story making round, breaking story is that Manchester United is now pushing hard for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. No disrespect to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And of course, his records have not really proven him to be a top-notch striker in the past season there. He's been having issues with injuries back and forth. But as it stands right now, Manchester United fans are really going rogue. They've been criticism of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They've been criticism of the Glazers family. They've been criticism on how the club is being managed. Now, going for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, when all the clubs are going hard in transfer market, remember there's still the issues with Manchester United and Brian Mbeumo. Brian Mbeumo is still not yet a Manchester United player because of the structure of the deal put together by Brentford. The Manchester United are still unable to put off or sell players there. Rashford still going rogue. Sancho still not yet having a done deal with Juventus there. All of these stories put together, Manchester United fans have really come out and they have been criticizing Sir Jim Ratcliffe, been criticizing the Glazers, criticizing the board for taking things the snail pace there. But it stands, Dominic Calvert-Lewin of Everton will be a Manchester United player if this deal goes out. We're not disrespecting Manchester United, but if you are going to compare Dominic Calvert-Lewin with the likes of Victor Gyökeres, with the like of Haaland, then there is a problem somewhere there. There is definitely a problem somewhere there. And we want to see how things pan out there. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim has said that he needs his kind of player, the kind of players who will fit into his bill very well, the kind of players who will play to his pattern right now. He has a lot of players on board. I want to see if the board will be able to get those players for Ruben Amorim there. And if this is not going to work out there, remember, it was a very poor season last time. He wants to have that corrected by having the right players come on board there. And now, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is one of the players they are looking out for. We brought you stories that they've been going for Hugo Ekitike of Eintracht Frankfurt, but that deal is still far away from coming to fruition. So we want to see if this one, they'll push hard for this one and see how. Remember, Manchester United have this dodgy way of running the transfer window. It's always very difficult for them to get a sale on board and then also have players come on board. These are some of the issues with Manchester United, but the fans are not really happy. The fans are not happy. They're going rogue. There've been criticism. There've been open call to the management and the board. Want to see how they'll finalize that deal and see if there'll be incomings for Manchester United. Well, still more talking about sad stories on board the CWC, the Club World Cup there. It's not been a very good one. The dangerous tackle injuries to Bayern Munich Musiala. Bayern Munich said that injury looks very dangerous, and of course, initial scan reported that he had a broken leg and a fractured ankle. A broken leg and a fractured ankle there. According to initial scan, it will take Musiala up to 5-6 months before he gets back and recuperate properly and get back to the game there. They have been back and forth. Manuel Neuer, the goalkeeper of Bayern Munich, have been ranting hard and have been blaming Donnarumma that he would have been better. He would have taken a better approach than running straight into Musiala. If you look at the footage of the game there, of course, Donnarumma was going in for the ball, and then there was a collision somewhere there, and that led to the broken leg there. Of course, Donnarumma, you could see his emotions right there the pitch there. He wasn't happy. He was in tears seeing what had just happened there. But Manuel Neuer said that there would have been better ways of taking care of that game there. He has been very he's been criticizing Thibaut Courtois, who made comment and said that it was just an accident or the collision. It happens in football. But as it stands right now, Manuel Neuer have been open, have been very vocal, have been criticizing Donnarumma and Thibaut Courtois that there have been better ways of running that game, picking that ball, than running directly into Musiala. The Ahad goes out to Musiala, who will be out of the game. The injury, very terrible injury to Musiala. All of the players who have been managing injuries on board there right now. What does the future hold for Enzo Maresca? His run at the Club World Cup there. Remember that nobody gave him a chance. Nobody gave him a chance right there when he left the lower league for the Premiership. He has qualified for the Champions League. Enzo Maresca, the Chelsea coach, is doing very well at the Club World Cup there. What are the chances? Will he pick up these? Well, the story is making rounds that he has done very well. He has gone beyond imagination there. This is exactly not what anybody thought he would reach, but he has come to this point here now. Enzo Maresca, big ups to Enzo Maresca, and we are bringing you stories that Enzo Maresca is preparing for next season. According to David Oysted, it says that Enzo Maresca have openly said that come next season, we are not looking at playing second fiddle. We'll be going straight for the Premiership, and that's exactly what we're going out for. No wonder we're picking the right players there. We'll jump into stories that Jamie Gayton is already a done deal for Chelsea, and we'll see how that story works out for Chelsea as it stands right now. We'll bring you other breaking stories coming on board there in the Premiership, in the La Liga, in the Bundesliga, in the Eredivisie. But the breaking story right now is that Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal. Here we go. Supermandy. Here we go. Manchester United. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'll hold it down for later on. Well, this is the right place to be. We'll be bringing you more of these top-notch stories as they happen there. Do not go anywhere. Remember to log on to our page, edysports. Like, share, and subscribe to our page. We'll be bringing you all of these top stories. Remember, I'm the Pichichi man. World record goal banger. I'm the African Fabrizio. Edache Roy is my name. Stay with us. Let's rock.